Have you ever wondered if that little handful of nuts you snack on every day, thinking it's healthy, might actually be harming you? No joke. High blood pressure, chronic inflammation, memory slips, and many people have no idea their healthy snack could be making things worse. Once you hit 65, your body changes. What used to be harmless can quietly sabotage your health. But here's the twist. Some nuts do the opposite. They strengthen your bones, sharpen your mind, protect your heart, and even slow down aging. If you want to know which 4 nuts you should never touch, and the 4 you absolutely need to eat, stay with me till the end. Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications, because this might just be the most important video for your health this year. Not all nuts are created equal, and for seniors, the wrong ones can silently sabotage your health. Sure, they look innocent in those fancy jars, but some are packed with compounds that raise blood pressure, fuel inflammation, and even trigger cognitive decline over time. It's sneaky. One day you're snacking healthy, the next you're wondering why your joints ache or your focus is slipping. And here's the kicker. Many of these issues build slowly, making it hard to trace them back to that little handful of trouble. Take mold toxins, for instance, especially aflatoxins lurking in poorly stored peanuts. These aren't just gross. They can seriously harm the liver and kidneys, especially in aging bodies. Add in enzyme inhibitors and oxalates found in certain nuts, and now you've got poor digestion, blocked mineral absorption, and an open door for thyroid imbalance. For someone already on medication, this combo can mess with how drugs are absorbed and throw off the whole system. One harmless snack could be working against your pills. And let's not forget about calorie density. Some nuts are so rich in fats that a few bites deliver hundreds of calories, way more than most seniors need in a snack. Over time, that can lead to weight gain, rising cholesterol, blood sugar spikes, and digestive issues like constipation. Picture this. A senior with prediabetes enjoys cashews daily, thinking they're making a smart choice, while in reality, they're pushing their blood glucose higher and higher. But the good news? Not all nuts are bad, and some are downright miraculous. Let's start with a true powerhouse. Almonds for bone and brain. Almonds are like the quiet geniuses of the nut world. Unassuming but incredibly powerful when it comes to senior health.
Rich in calcium and magnesium, they're a dream team for bone strength, especially in aging bodies that naturally lose density over time. Think of them as a crunchy form of osteoporosis insurance. Just a small handful a day can help maintain
posture, reduce fracture risk, and even soothe those persistent lower back aches. Plus, for women post-menopause, almonds are a secret ally for maintaining bone mass without relying solely on supplements. But wait, there's more. These little guys are also loaded with monounsaturated fats and flavonoids, which are golden for cardiovascular and cognitive function. That means better blood flow, sharper thinking, and a reduced risk of memory fog. Seniors who struggle with word recall or lose their train of thought mid-conversation might find that regular almond intake helps keep the mind a little crisper. Add them to morning oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or keep a small jar by you. The TV instead of salty chips. Easy, right? And don't overlook digestion. Almonds, being high in fiber, help reduce constipation, a common, and let's be honest, annoying issue for many seniors. They also help regulate blood pressure and cholesterol, lowering the risk of heart problems down the line. And here's a fun tip. Soak almonds overnight and peel them in the morning to reduce oxalates and boost nutrient absorption. It's an old school trick with new school benefits. And speaking of brain health, there's another nut that takes cognitive support to the next level. Walnuts for cognitive health. Walnuts are like personal trainers for your brain, except they don't yell and they taste amazing. Rich in omega-3 fatty acids, specifically ALA, they help lubricate brain cells, keeping things sharp, fluid, and connected. For seniors facing age-related cognitive decline, these nuts are more than just a snack. They're a strategy. Studies show that regular walnut intake supports memory retention, mental flexibility, and can even slow down the onset of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. That morning brain fog? A few walnuts might just help clear it. But it's not just the omega-3s doing the heavy lifting. Walnuts are also packed with polyphenols and melatonin, which support better sleep and reduce oxidative stress, two critical factors for preserving brain and heart health. A senior who tosses and turns at night might benefit from adding a small handful before bedtime. Better sleep equals better memory, mood, and even blood pressure control. And yes, the heart and brain are a tag team. When one thrives, the other usually follows. You know what's beautiful about walnuts? They're ridiculously easy to integrate. Sprinkle them over Greek yogurt, crush them into homemade granola bars, or pair them with a few dried cranberries for an afternoon boost. Just make sure they're fresh. Rancid walnuts oxidize quickly and can turn a good thing into a source of inflammation. When chosen right, walnuts are like nature's prescription for longevity and clarity. And if brain health is the goal, your eyes shouldn't be left behind. Pistachios for vision and blood pressure. Pistachios might be small, but don't let their size fool you. They're a powerhouse for seniors who want to protect both their vision and their blood pressure. Packed with potassium and fiber, these green gems help relax blood vessels, stabilize blood pressure, and improve circulation. For someone managing hypertension, tossing a few pistachios into a snack mix is more than just tasty. It's therapeutic. They're also low on the glycemic index, meaning they won't spike blood sugar, making them a safe bet for seniors managing diabetes. What really sets pistachios apart, though, are their high levels of carotenoids, specifically lutein and zeaxanthin. These are the same compounds found in leafy greens that guard against age-related macular degeneration. If reading becomes a struggle or night vision gets fuzzy, your eyes might be craving more of these vision-boosting antioxidants. A smart habit. Make a trail mix with pistachios, pumpkin seeds, and a few goji berries to create a snack that nourishes the eyes and energizes the body at the same time. Here's a bonus. Pistachios in their shells naturally slow down how fast you eat. This built-in brake system helps with portion control, which is crucial when trying to manage calorie density and prevent mindless snacking. Plus, it adds a little ritual to your snack time, almost meditative. Crack, eat, repeat. It keeps you present, mindful, and full without overindulging. But when it comes to true nutritional precision, there's one nut so potent, it only takes one or two to change everything. Brazil nuts for thyroid and aging. Brazil nuts are like nutritional snipers. Just one or two hits the target with surgical precision. That's thanks to their insanely high selenium content, a trace mineral most people don't think about, but your thyroid absolutely depends on. For seniors, a sluggish thyroid can mean fatigue, cold intolerance, brain fog, or even depression. Adding a Brazil nut or two to breakfast is like giving your thyroid a standing ovation. It keeps hormone production balanced and supports the nervous system like a backstage crew holding it all together. Now here's where it gets really fascinating. Selenium in Brazil nuts plays a role in maintaining telomere length. If you've never heard of telomeres, think of them like the plastic tips on shoelaces. They protect your DNA. The longer they stay intact, the slower your body shows signs of aging. Seniors who want to age with grace, energy, and clarity would do well to prioritize these little anti-aging bombs. Plus, selenium acts as a powerful antioxidant, protecting cells from inflammation and oxidative damage that accelerates aging. But don't go nuts, literally. More than 2 or 3 Brazil nuts a day can cause selenium overload, leading to hair loss, brittle nails, or worse. Moderation here isn't optional, it's sacred. A simple ritual. Set aside 2 Brazil nuts next to your coffee mug every morning. That's it. No guessing, no measuring. Just a tiny habit with massive long-term impact. And while Brazil nuts support aging from the inside out, the next so-called nut might be doing more harm than good. Peanuts are not nuts. Let's set the record straight. Peanuts aren't actually nuts. They're legumes. Yep, they belong in the same family as beans and lentils, which already changes the game. While they're wildly popular, especially among seniors who grew up with peanut butter sandwiches, they come with some serious baggage. The biggest red flag? Peanuts are one of the most common carriers of mold toxins, particularly aflatoxins, which are toxic to the liver and can impair immune function. For someone already dealing with inflammation or a chronic condition, that's a hidden bomb waiting to go off. Peanuts are also extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids, and when not balanced with omega-3s, they fan the flames of inflammation. That's bad news for anyone struggling with arthritis, joint pain, or heart health. On top of that, peanuts are known for triggering medication interactions, especially in seniors who take blood pressure meds, cholesterol regulators, or blood thinners. Think of it this way. A peanut butter snack might feel comforting, but under the surface, it could be quietly working against your health strategy. And if that wasn't enough, regular peanut consumption has been linked to raised LDL, bad cholesterol levels, thanks to their fatty acid profile. Ever heard of someone eating healthy and still seeing their cholesterol climb? Peanuts could be the undercover culprit. For seniors, especially those with thyroid issues or diabetes, switching to cleaner nuts like almonds or walnuts can make a world of difference. But be careful. Some nuts that sound healthy may be messing with your blood sugar more than you'd expect. Cashews can spike blood sugar. Cashews are often seen as the smooth, buttery darling of the nut family, but for seniors, they can be a metabolic trap. Despite their velvety texture and sweet taste, cashews have a surprisingly high glycemic index for a nut, meaning they can cause blood sugar spikes that throw insulin levels off balance. For seniors managing diabetes or pre-diabetes, that just a few handfuls could quietly derail progress. And since they're low in fiber, there's little to buffer that sudden glucose rise, like riding a blood sugar roller coaster without a seatbelt. There's another layer most people miss. Cashews are rich in oxalates, which can interfere with calcium absorption and contribute to kidney stones. Seniors with digestive sensitivities or bone health concerns need to tread carefully. Plus, cashews contain enzyme inhibitors, which block the proper breakdown of food and nutrients, leaving you full but not fully nourished. Imagine fueling your body, but leaving your cells hungry. It's like putting gas in the car, but pinching the fuel line halfway through. So what's the smart move? If you love cashews, keep them as an occasional treat, not a daily habit. Pairing them with a high-fiber food like chia pudding or veggie sticks can help blunt the glycemic hit, and soaking raw cashews overnight before eating or blending can reduce enzyme inhibitors, making them gentler on digestion. Still, when it comes to fat content and calorie density, there's another nut that sneaks in with an even heavier punch: macadamias. Our calorie-dense macadamia nuts are the rich, velvety seducers of the nut world. Decadent, satisfying, and dangerously easy to overeat. For seniors, that's where the problem begins. These nuts are incredibly calorie-dense, with a handful easily packing over 200 calories. Add in their high saturated fat content, and suddenly, your snack becomes a metabolic overload. For aging bodies with slower digestion and less calorie burn, macadamias can quietly contribute to weight gain, gallbladder strain, and even dental issues, especially if teeth are already weakened. The texture is deceptive, so smooth, so light. But make no mistake, they're heavy hitters. High fat content slows gastric emptying, which sounds good for satiety, but not if it causes bloating or acid reflux. For seniors already managing cholesterol or on heart medications, overindulging in macadamias might make numbers creep up despite an otherwise balanced diet. And here's a wild thought. Some people feel hungrier after eating macadamias because their richness triggers cravings for more rich, fatty foods. It's a sneaky loop. Still, we're not canceling macadamias, just giving them the respect they deserve. Use them sparingly, like you'd use olive oil or dark chocolate. A little goes a long way. Want to enjoy them without overdoing it? Crush a few over a fruit salad, or mix them with higher fiber nuts like almonds. And if you're watching your calorie intake, Count out a portion instead of eating straight from the jar. That way, your indulgence stays smart. Speaking of smart, ever heard of a nut that messes with medications and leaves a bitter aftertaste? Pine nuts and drug interactions? Pine nuts may look delicate, almost gourmet, but for seniors, they can stir up more trouble than they're worth. One of the biggest concerns? Medication interactions. These little seeds, yep, technically not nuts either, can interfere with common drugs like statins, blood pressure meds, and even anticoagulants. The issue isn't just theoretical, it's real. A senior carefully managing a medication routine might suddenly feel off, not knowing that their artisanal pesto sauce is part of the problem. And here's the weirdest part. Pine nuts can trigger something called pine mouth, or bitter taste syndrome. It's exactly what it sounds like, a metallic, unpleasant taste that lingers for days and messes with your enjoyment of food. Not dangerous, but definitely annoying. Add to that their high fat content and tendency to oxidize quickly, and you've got a nut that can increase inflammation when it goes stale. For seniors dealing with arthritis or inflammatory conditions, that's the last thing you want in your pantry. There's also a real choking risk that's often overlooked. Because pine nuts are small and dense, they can slip past chewing and catch in the throat, especially for seniors with reduced saliva production or swallowing issues. If you're going to use pine nuts, go cooked. Toss them into warm grains, roasted, veggies, or blend them into sauces where they're soft and fully integrated. Delicious, yes, but used with caution. Now that you've seen the good, the bad, and the nutty, let's step back and tie it all together in a way that makes your health journey actually work. Here's the thing, most people age by accident. They don't know what's speeding it up, what's slowing it down, or what that daily handful of nuts is really doing under the surface. But now, you know. You've got the map in your hands, and that alone puts you ahead of 90% of folks your age. So ask yourself, which nut is staying in your kitchen and which one's going in the trash today? What small shift will you make in your routine to protect your heart, your brain, your vision, your future? Don't wait for a wake-up call in the form of a diagnosis. Prevention doesn't come in a pill bottle. It starts with everyday choices, like this one. If this opened your eyes, imagine what else you could learn by sticking with us. Hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss a chance to age smarter, stronger, and with a lot more flavor. And hey, leave a comment telling us which nut shocked you the most. Let's crack this thing open together.